We've all stepped onto a plane and showed the flight attendant our boarding pass. At that moment, though, they're not just looking at your seat number. Behind those friendly faces and pearly white smiles, you're being judged like no tomorrow. Have you ever wondered what they're actually thinking when they first see you? They're sizing up your looks, attitude, status, and a whole lot more. What's the first thing that cabin crew notice about us? Well, think about it. What would grab your attention when a stranger walked into a room? Exactly, their appearance. As soon as you jump from the jet bridge to the plane, the smiley flight attendant is taking a subtle glance at your body. They're not just checking us out for the sake of it, although we'll touch on that in a second. But they're analyzing our body type for a number of reasons. First and foremost, they're seeing if you've got muscles. You don't have to be the Hulk, but cabin crew want to know if you're physically fit enough to help in case of an emergency. 99 times out of 100, flight attendants won't need us. But when they do, they'll call upon that jacked up dude sitting in 32F with the double-decker biceps if they need some heavy lifting done. So if you're hitting the gym, or on the flip side, if you're withering away as a couch potato, the staff will pick it up straight away. Cabin crew have seen thousands of people board planes over their careers, and while they try not to generalize and assign stereotypes to people, they can definitely pick out a troublemaker from the crowd. Within seconds after they've analyzed how much you can bench press, they'll have made a decision on whether or not you're a potential threat. What exactly do they look for? Well, would you wear sunglasses on a plane? Unless you're planning some shady explodey things, then the answer's no. Is your hat pulled down so it's covering up half your face? Are you wearing a shirt that says, "I'm not a threat, trust me," with a little winky face below it? All of these things just slap a big label on your head that says, "Potential danger." It's not just your physical impression either. They also look for body language. If you're awkwardly avoiding eye contact, that could be a sign of something odd. Or if you're sweating or twitching uncontrollably, well, you're not exactly hiding the fact that something's going on. Sometimes it's nothing more than gut instinct either.
Departure Southjet 227. We need to deviate 30 degrees right.
For weather.
For weather.
Southjet 227, 30 degrees right approved.
There's nothing wrong with having a cold beer or a glass of vintage $75 airport-priced Merlot to ease those pre-flight jitters. But make no mistake, if you rock up to the plane drunk, there's no way it's going unnoticed. If someone's whacked out of their brains because they've downed too many shots, or if they've taken it to a whole other level entirely and the Vegas party supplements haven't quite worn off yet, then besides potentially reeking of alcohol, you're actually posing a huge safety and security issue to the plane as well.
I won't have those kind of shenanigans on my flight. Take a hike, party boy.
No, but I'm...
Save it, Animal House! Off my plane!
Keep in mind that flight attendants have every right to refuse entry to someone who might be considered dangerous. But why? Well, a hammered version of you might not try to take over the cockpit or bring any snakes on the plane, but if you're feeling the buzz, then the fact is that you're less likely to be cooperative, and flight attendants absolutely hate that. If the plane catches fire or crashes into the Hudson Captain Sully style, then cabin crew need to do their best to evacuate within 90 seconds. If you're in the laboratory giving new life to last night's tequila, then that throws a big spanner in the works.
Southjet 227, Orlando departure, radar contact, turn left heading 1705, maintain 900,000.
Coke with a baby-sized squirt of rum, then you can bet your bottom dollar that you'll be caught, likely slapped with a fine, and forced to sit in the naughty corner and think about what you've done. Speaking of sneaking things on, if you're confident that you can smuggle in some carry-on luggage that's clearly far too large to fit, you're gonna get caught. Flight attendants spend their lives cramming bags into the overhead, so it only takes an instant to realize that your surfboard ain't gonna slide in. You don't have to be sick as a result of simply partying too hard to be judged. Even if you've got a case of the sniffles, flight attendants notice straight away. Why? Because these waiters of the sky, kidding, never call them that, they absolutely hate it, These sky angels can't afford to get sick, so they'll do their best to stay away from you if you're coughing up buckets of gnarly colors. Plus, because of the way that air pressure and altitude messes with our bodies, cabin crew need to be aware of which of us could potentially fall victim to things like aerosinusitis. Have you ever flown while sick and thought that your head was going to explode? Yeah, it's no merry-go-round, is it? Just don't fly when you're sick, folks. If you're looking seriously pale, coughing, and sneezing your lungs out, then you might not even be allowed to get on the plane. Okay, so flight attendants check out your appearance in the name of safety, but who says they can't have a little bit of fun, too? It doesn't take long before they've judged you for the way you dress and rated you on their very own hot or not scale. Are you a 10 out of 10? Will they be giving you a little wink as they walk past with the drinks tray? They've already made up their mind the second you step on that plane.
Hey Janet, check out the stud over in 21F. Hubba hubba.
While they'd never blatantly go ahead and ramble on about Sexy Sally in 3F, because if overheard it could be seen as extremely unprofessional and cause potential conflict, some flight attendants still do it, just with a secret code. One particular flight attendant announced on an Australian radio show that cabin crew actually often refer to the passengers' seat numbers by saying things like, "Oh, I'd love to do 3 days in Barcelona," which of course is code for 3B.
30 degrees right approved. Report back on normal. Southjet 227, stay altitude.
While there's absolutely nothing wrong with rocking a pair of comfy sweatpants, you're definitely being judged for how you dress. Remember, flight attendants have the power to upgrade you if there are a handful of spare seats in the bougie business class section. And a dude in a 3-piece velvet suit is far more likely to be bumped up than a scruffy college kid in a panda onesie. In truth, boys and girls, the way you're dressed can indicate a lot more about you in an instant than you might realize. Flight attendants can and will jump straight to conclusion of what type of traveler you are. Budget or big spender? High maintenance or low maintenance?
D1 and rotate. We're at a positive rate. You're up.
Annoying or genuinely friendly? Which one are you? Here's how they figure it out. If you're looking like a cliché nervous traveler, carrying a $40 neck pillow with your passport secured in a tacky money belt, holding far too many plastic bags worth of unnecessary knickknacks, then odds are you're gonna be an infuriating, nitpicky traveler. If you've got headphones on, you're wearing a small backpack and holding a book, then they're confident that you'll be an easygoing, quiet jet setter. You know what else they pick up on almost immediately? Whether you're a cheap traveler or whether you're one to throw away cash like it's confetti. There's usually a clear indication of this: jewelry. And in the case of women, high heels as well. Sparkly diamond earrings, gold dollar sign necklaces, and the like are a clear sign that you're rolling in the cash, and that often means that you'll be picky on board. Not always, but usually. Next up, they actually do acknowledge if you speak to them with a friendly smile when you climb aboard, or whether you simply shrug your shoulders and walk past them as if they're cardboard cutouts. As a rule of thumb, try to be as nice as possible to flight attendants, because they have a heck of a lot more power than it might seem. Let us remind you that these guys and gals have the ability to make your flight incredible. They can get you extra food, top off your drink, move you to a better seat, and even let you say howdy to the pilots in the cockpit. You just have to ask nicely, with a big smile. There's always two sides to a coin, though. On the other hand, they can and will make your life a living hell if you're acting like a massive jerk. If they think that you're a bit of a not such a nice person, then your coffee might accidentally be decaf. They might have all of a sudden run out of the pasta you were oh so desperately craving. And that entertainment system that's continuously flickering, well, they might just leave it as it is, saying that, "There's nothing else I can do, sir. I'm truly sorry." Meanwhile, there's 25 other spare seats on the plane. As you can see, there are an abundance of factors that cabin crew judge you for in the first 5 seconds alone. So it's worth putting on a smile and taking the high road, even if it's just for the first interactions. Trust us, you wouldn't want to end up on their bad side. If you do, well, there's usually handcuffs or cable ties on board. Well, that's all for the things that flight attendants notice about us passengers straight away. Did any of them surprise you? Let us know down in the comments. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to The Richest, and don't forget to join our notification squad. Thank you for flying with The Richest Airlines and enjoy your stay. We'll see you next time.